Minnesota, we have Brenda Moore. As she just said, she works for the ELCA Foundation. She works with Minneapolis and St. Paul area synods. She formerly was Director of Development at Concordia College Moorhead and VP of Institutional Advancement at Gustavus Adolphus College in St. Peter, Minnesota. And Brenda, your fun fact you say is that you've been coming to ALDE for longer than some people in this room have been alive. Whatever. Yes. Anyway, so thank you, Brenda. And Brenda is married with 2 daughters. And now we have Christopher Kind, who is a Director of Development at Bethany Lutheran College in Mankato, Minnesota. The little known fact is that he majored in Parks and Recreation, and he sold media advertising before joining his alma mater's development team, and he is married with an almost 3-year-old daughter. So, welcome Brenda and Christopher. Now tell us, how long ago were you matched by ALDE's mentorship program?
Is this the first question?
Is this for both?
This is for both of you to answer. No, just out loud.
I don't need the card out loud?
Out loud.
3 years
3 years ago.
3 years ago, wonderful. And like, okay, excellent. Well, let's get started here. So the rules of the game. I'm going to read a question. You both are going to write your answer on the white card. And don't look at each other. And then we're going to have you flip your cards and compare the answers. And the more answers that match, the better mentorship pair they are. So, here you go.
I'm very motivated by it. I have goal orientation. What's the prize?
The prize is it means you're really a great pair.
Intrinsic, I get that.
Okay, I'll buy you a glass of water later. Okay. The first question. Where did you meet for the very first time? Now it's A, B, or C. Okay, A. Did you meet for the very first time in line at Starbucks? B. At the ALDE International Conference 2008 in Chicago? Or C. At a nightclub in Mankato, Minnesota?
The right answer.
Are you ready with your answers? A. Starbucks. B. ALDE Conference, Chicago. Or C. A nightclub in Mankato? Turn your answer cards over when you're ready.
A nightclub in Chicago. No.
That wasn't an answer. Okay, well, we'll give that to you. Good job. Congratulations.
Yay.
So now this is off the record. Just answer, tell the group. In your own words, what did you think of each other when you first met that first conference in Chicago? Brenda? What did you think of Chris?
I thought if I was an old lady, I'd give him money because he was kind of cute.
Excellent. And Chris, what did you think of Brenda here?
The first impression I had was she was probably the friendliest and loudest person in the room.
Yes.
All right, well, that's good for both of you. Glad you lasted 3 years
That was
here.
because it was a nightclub.
All right, now question number 2. This is a 2-part question. The first part of the question is, what do you think is the biggest difference between the two of you? And second, what will your partner say is the biggest difference between the two of you? We'll give you a minute for this one.
5,
Okay.
4, 3, 2,
Thank you, timer.
1.
Okay, got it.
Okay, let's start with Brenda. What do you think is the biggest difference between the two of you?
Okay, I said the biggest difference is that his blonde is natural and mine is manufactured.
Okay, and you think he will say...
He will say that he's loud and I'm louder.
Okay. And Christopher, what do you think?
I put the Y chromosome.
Oh.
Okay,
He's smart.
Oh,
And what do you think she said? What did you predict she would say? Well, did you write it?
that I don't hug everybody in the room.
No.
Okay.
Just me.
And that's okay. We're not all friends. That's all right. Well, okay, let's give him a round of applause. Let's
I know it's true.
All right, so you can erase your boards, players. Question number 3. What phrase do you think best describes your mentorship relationship? Is it A, Brenda is the boss, B,
My husband would say that.
lunches, laughter, and litany, C, mutual respect. A, Brenda's the boss. B, lunches, laughter, and litany. Or C,
Is there a D,
mutual
all of the above?
respect.
That's wrong.
Okay, flip your cards, players.
Okay.
B, C, and actually D, all of the above.
Yay!
Hey, look at that! We didn't plan that.
Okay, you two are doing so well. Let's try to stump you with a really difficult one, okay? And this will be your
I had
final
something else in
question.
mind. I shall.
Final question. A,
For it.
what do you think that the other is most looking forward to about this conference? And B, what are you most actually looking forward to about this conference? And you know, these are a couple people who've been to a lot of conferences, so maybe for you newcomers, this will be a good way to kind of think, maybe you have your own reason, but hopefully you'll all leave with good networking, good times, enjoying the Pacific Northwest, and learning more to help you in your own personal careers. So, are you ready? We'll start with Christopher.
Okay, I wrote, Brenda would say martinis.
You're right.
So you know her very well. And you say?
And I said above 0-degree temperatures.
Oh, very good.
All right, and Brenda?
Well, Chris and I both have young children, so I said that he was looking forward to sleep. A. And I almost wrote that for myself, too.
Right.
B, networking.
Those go together, martinis and sleep. It's just
There you go.
There you go. Okay, excellent, excellent. And, you know,
I'm trying to get points.
you guys are a great example, I think, of what a mentorship pair should be like. You have a lot of fun together, you learn from each other, and mutually encourage and respect one another. Just in your own words, what have you personally gained? You don't have to write this down, you're done with the cards. But what have you personally gained from the mentorship program?
Well, I would say that sometimes you can get really serious about your work, and it's probably a disservice to start getting too serious, and Brenda's not serious, so she helps me. No, not that. But she keeps it fun. She's a fun person, and fun people can do really good work for their organizations raising money, and you don't have to be serious all the time and under pressure, and you can make it a good time. Yeah.
Well, I'll take that one step further and say that, for me, the fun is all about joy, because it's very clear that this work brings me joy, and for me, it's about being able to be between the joy of the donor and the joy of the beneficiary, and the joy in the conduit role is just something that I feel every day when I get out of bed, and it kind of pours over. But I will say, too, that one of the really good things about the relationship with Chris is that, well, first of all, we met here, even though we live 10 miles apart, and his parents are a member of my church, and he grew up and was confirmed in my church. And we should have met there, but we met at ALDE and became friends that way, and ended up going down really interestingly similar paths. We both have been through the adoption processes in our lives just in the last 3 years as we've become parents. And so it's just interesting how, and I can say this about other mentors that I've had, the lifelong friendships are so valuable. One of the big things that Chris does for me is keep me connected to higher ed, because that was my career for about 13 years. And I'm now doing almost exclusively planned giving work, and so I really need his perspective on operating an entire shop in order to kind of stay attuned to what's going on in the rest of the world outside of planned giving. So that's a gift that he brings to me. And he has introduced me to a couple of really cool restaurants in Mankato.
Wonderful.
Good job.
That's right.
Well, thank you both